Welcome to another episode of the Game of Inches Basketball News. So, the first article that we're going to be taking a look at today is going to be looking at the NBA Christmas games for 2022. So, there are 5 games, and this article ranks them based on how they think they're going to be entertainment value wise. So, you have the Los Angeles Lakers at the Dallas Mavericks, the 76ers at the Knicks, the Suns at the Nuggets, the Grizzlies at the Warriors, and the Bucks at the Celtics. So with that being said, DeMarcus, which games do you think are going to be the best?
Well, actually, I'm going to go with the Bucks and Celtics, and then the Sixers and the Knicks. Just because I was excited to see Memphis and Golden State, but with Curry being out and of course Clay playing poorly, now that still would be a good game to watch. However, I don't think it'd be as good as it would have been if Golden State had if Golden State had Steph Curry in, and then of course with the Lakers having the AD and then possibly LeBron might be out. Pretty sure he may play, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna have to go with Philly and New York, since New York is on a 8-game win streak right now, 6 in the East, and Philly is 5th in the East, so that'd be a good game for the Eastern Conference. So I would have to say those 2 games will be Philly, New York, and Boston and Milwaukee. Those would be my 2 games I'd be looking forward to see.
Yeah, I would agree that the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics are going to be a lot of fun to watch, as they're the 2 leaders in the East. And then I think personally, the Nuggets and the Suns will be a really fun one to watch, as the Nuggets and Suns are 2 of the top teams in the West also. So you also have the Grizzlies that are playing the Warriors, although the Warriors are injured. So it'll be fun to watch the Grizzlies play and see how the West comes out looking after these 2 games, because you have 3 of the top 4 teams in the West playing between these 3 games. So that'll be fun to see. And then the New York Knicks are just on fire right now, which we will look at in a different article, but they should be fun to watch too. Mitchell Robinson is having an outstanding year, so it'll be fun to watch this game also. And the Mavericks, you're watching the old best player versus the new best player. LeBron versus Doncic. So
if LeBron plays.
You do have a very good point. Then again, it's the Christmas schedule, so I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Silver decides to send a message letting everyone know they're going to get fined if they fake an injury on Christmas.
Right.
Got to pay $25,000 to fake an injury on Christmas.
So, Lakers just been up and down with these injuries. 1 minute they're playing, 1 minute they're not.
Flu-like symptoms are everywhere.
The injured bug.
Yeah, for 2 years straight, day to day.
Yeah, but no, Luka would be nice to see on Christmas also. Pretty sure he might go off, get him like a 50-point game.
Yeah, he could be one of those players that is chasing down Christmas records, like Kobe's most points scored on Christmas games, or Dwayne Wade's most wins on Christmas. He's a pretty young player, and he's probably got a lot of Christmas games left, so maybe he'll be a Christmas stat leader by the end of his career. That's about all I have for this one. Do you want to add anything?
No, that's all I have also.
All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, in the next article, we're going to be talking about the Suns, and more specifically, DeAndre Ayton. And he had a heated argument with his coach, Monty Williams, on Tuesday. So with that being said, DeMarcus, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like if a player is having a heated argument with the coach, I'm going to have to say of course, going to have to come down to like situational basketball, as far as maybe the coach didn't call the right plays in certain moments, or didn't do the right things. Because I mean, last night against the Wizards, he dropped 30 points with 13 rebounds. So I don't know if it's just tension in the locker room that nobody's talking about right now, or just against a team like the Wizards, he expected them to win and play better. And also because the Suns hasn't really been playing that well this year, because there have been some games where they dropped the ball in. Let me just check my standings real quick. But I mean, it's kind of normal for a player and a coach to go at it. Pretty sure they get things swept under the rug real quick and get back to playing basketball. They only fourth in the West, 19-13. So they're not doing too bad. So probably was just something that happened in the game, but it just got heated between the two of them. I don't see any major issues right now.
All right, this gives me a weird feeling about DeAndre Ayton, as Monty Williams has been in the conversation for Coach of the Year the last couple of years. He's a really good coach, and he's even went on record saying that DeAndre Ayton is the most important piece of the Phoenix Suns. So he seems to be putting himself out there, trying to boost the confidence of DeAndre Ayton. So I think this is more of a story about DeAndre Ayton, as he was a former first-round pick, and he's been struggling to live up to that hype. He was in the same draft class as Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Michael Porter Jr. There's several other huge names. So he was the number one pick in that draft, and he's not performing like the best player in that draft. So maybe he's a little bit stressed out that the Phoenix Suns aren't winning, as he has a personal competition with some of his other draft class friends. So I don't know. I think this says a lot about DeAndre Ayton and why they might have been reluctant to re-sign him to a big-time contract on a long-term basis.
Yes, because I thought they was going to either let him walk or trade him during the offseason before they gave him that contract.
Yeah, and I thought that was really weird, because if you just look at his stats, like, he's a consistent player. He'll get you rebounds. He plays defense. He does some offense, you know. He's not a superstar at any of those, but he's really good at each individual skill set, you know. So I thought it was really weird how they were handling him in free agency, but maybe he's got a confidence and attitude issue that doesn't show itself in the mainstream and just kind of like rears its head in the locker room.
Yeah, or at practice also. Because maybe he's not putting in enough. Maybe he's like a young Shaquille O'Neal. You know, he had all that talent and stuff. And like Kobe said, he just didn't work hard enough to improve his skill set. He just relied heavily on his like what his body size and what he could do instead of making it better. So maybe that could be something he's doing also, not really trying to get better.
Yeah, that is very true.
Right?
That kind of his situation in college too, signing autographs and shit. It's just like,
yeah,
it's cool that he's trying to make money. I think they should be able to make money, but at the same time, like, you're willing to risk your future in basketball to make a couple dollars signing autographs, you know?
Right.
So it kind of shows where his priorities are. He would rather make quick money than be good at basketball, you know? Or consistent at basketball. So, I don't know. I think there's probably something going on with DeAndre Ayton behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is also.
All right, so I think that's about all I have for this one. Is there anything you want to add?
No, that's all I have.
All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, in this article, we're going to be looking at the Knicks extend the NBA best winning streak to 8. And this was against the Warriors last night. They blew the Warriors out by about 40 points, almost 40 points. So, that being said, the Warriors are pretty depleted with injuries. So, with that, DeMarcus, what do you think?
I mean, I think it's awesome to see the Knicks, like in a playoff race. As far as like, I think there was 6 in the East right now, 6 or 8. But the fact that they're on 8-game winning streak is pretty good. And they do have a good team. I like the team that they put together. I like that R.J. Barrett is doing well, because I didn't think he was going to be all that good when he got drafted. He was averaging 19 a game. And the Knicks has always been laughing stock, like coming into the season, like during the offseason, probably missing out on free agents. I remember Stephen A was mad that they couldn't draft Zion Williamson. So to see them back to winning ways and winning games, like it's really exciting to see, and I hope they do make the playoffs this year and maybe make it past the first round. Cause this is something New York need. I'm not a New York native, but I'm still a fan of basketball, and the Knicks, they deserve to be in the playoffs.
So I think it's pretty cool to see the Knicks finally starting to get some chemistry going. They have some pretty good young players. It's just they haven't been able to get those young players to mesh well on the floor in a way that translates to wins in the NBA. So the Knicks have finally figured out how to win some games. And I think the cool part is they are getting production from just about everyone on the team. So when you think of the Knicks, you think of R.J. Barrett, you think of Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson. But there's one guy on the team who's just been completely outperforming all expectations. All right, so if we hop over to our Twitter, we can see that Mitchell Robinson, the starting center for the New York Knicks, is leading, or maybe not leading, but he's number 2 in the league for 7-footers in net rating. So when it comes to offense and defense and rebounding and just doing what it takes to win games, Mitchell Robinson is number 2 among 7-footers in the league, just behind Joel Embiid. So I think that speaks to how well he's playing. So shout out to Mitchell Robinson and shout out to the Knicks for finally winning some games.
Right. They're actually doing things right with putting this roster together. I like Julius Randle too, man. He's always been a dog. Even when he was with LA. But like LA gave up on him too early.
I don't know. He had a pretty bad training camp. So I was watching that training camp live. They had it, and Julius Randle he couldn't even make it through the warm-up. He was so out of shape. Like literally, they ran a 5-mile warm-up, and you had to do it with your hands up in a defensive stance. And he had to fucking take himself off the floor to go catch his breath. And that was just a warm-up for the practice in the off-season.
Shit, 5 miles, I have to take a breath too.
But I mean, you're supposed to be in that shape. Like when I was going into college, you know, like we had to do the same thing, and that was college, let alone NBA, you know. So
just goes to show that he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do before they came back to training camp.
Yeah, so I think it gave the impression that he wasn't ready to put in the work to be an NBA player. So
right.
Might as well dish him while you still have some draft hype around him. I don't know. I'm glad.
They could use him right.
Yeah, I'm glad
Lakers could use him right now.
Say that one more time.
No, I said the Lakers. They could use him right now.
Yeah. They could use Lonzo Ball too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they gave up on their team a little bit too early.
Yeah, they did. Way too early.
Well, they are dealing with the consequences now. So have fun with that out in LA.
Right. Get that one ring. And they think they on top of the world.
Yeah. Let it fucking destroy the whole franchise and the rest of LeBron's career.
Right.
Although he's still chasing individual accolades, although he's probably seen his last championship. Unless he pulls a Miami Heat and decides to go join the Cavaliers in the offseason. Cavaliers or Nuggets, I think would be his fits for an NBA championship. Because they both need that forward. I guess the Suns would be a good fit also.
Yeah, I can see him with the Suns as far as like playing with Chris Paul.
Maybe a Hawks team too, but I don't know. They're not in contending, so I think
maybe
Suns,
Memphis. Go to Memphis with Ja.
That would be interesting too. They actually need a forward too, so I don't know.
For 1 year.
I could see him doing that, but
yeah, because I don't see the Lakers winning another chip either. Not with the current team they have, and if they don't make any moves next year. And plus, like the players that's in the league now, even in the West, all these young players and how good they are, and how good they're going to get, it's going to be really tough for him to get another ring with the Lakers. So he'll be lucky to get into the playoffs.
So I don't know. I kind of hope he doesn't get another ring, because if he does switch teams to a super team in his last season, I think that's going to leave a stain on his career, too, as someone that couldn't win games by himself.
Yeah.
So,
Well, pretty much. Because he only won with, what, D-Wade and Kyrie?
and even
And
them, you know,
then
like,
Anthony Davis.
I mean,
So, yeah,
the Cavs also had Kevin Love, and the Heat also had Chris Bosh, and you had good role players too. So
yeah, they did. And yeah, they had Ray Allen, too.
oh, that's true. So you did have some super teams. So I don't think he's ever won the Lakers championship was the closest thing to him winning a championship by himself. And
Anthony Davis.
yeah, if it wasn't for Anthony Davis hitting a buzzer beater shot against the Nuggets, they probably wouldn't have made it out of the Western Conference. Because that's that shot shifted the series.
Yeah, I was going to say also that he can't even say he got that on his own. Yeah. I think Anthony Davis was going off that during those playoffs too, and that finals run.
Yeah, I mean, Anthony Davis really was the one who performed when they needed a performance and got them the wins. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope he doesn't try to switch to another super team, though. That would just be...
Yeah, he says go ahead and just retire as a Laker.
Yeah. I agree. Or at least, maybe, like, retire somewhere else, but not join a super team. Like, I could see him, like, joining the Cavs, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I was going to say that, too. And, like, I can understand that also. Just go back to the Cavs and retire there.
But even at that point, like... That would ruin if the Cavs win a championship with LeBron, that would just be like, oh, you know, the Cavs can't do anything without LeBron. And then that would be LeBron can't do anything without super teams, you know? So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I was going to, Mavs was just going to be, sign that one-day contract so he could retire as a Cavalier.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That would be really cool.
Yeah, no, let's just do it like that.
That way it doesn't ruin the long-term image of the team and his career also.
Yeah. Keep the integrity in play.
Yeah, he's done enough of that already. I feel like people are just now getting over what happened with Miami. So, I don't know. If he does it again, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a good conversation we're talking about.
He's going to get dragged in the media again. Here we go again. LeBron switching teams.
And deservingly so. But
right.
I think that's our time for this one, so let's move on to the next one.
All
right. So with this one, it's going to be the Suns have agreed to being purchased out for a record $4 billion. So with that, DeMarcus, what do you think?
I say, goddamn, that's a lot of money. But then also seeing it's for the Phoenix Sun and the Phoenix Mercury, the WNBA team. Of course, majority of the money being paid is actually the owner of Phoenix Suns. And also, kind of seen it coming just because all the reports that was coming out about the previous owner, Robert Sarver, I believe that's how you say his last name. Just about like what was going on there and the things he allowed, and then the allegations coming out against him. So hopefully with these with the new owners coming in, they could change the the environment within the organization. Hopefully clear out some of the negativity that's going on there and just make it a better place to work. And the fact that, kind of wish I had $4 billion right now. Bet me a team or something. But it's good for the Phoenix Suns, especially with the article we just talked about with one of the players and the coach getting into an argument. So just get a new owner in, come in, and change that environment in there. Maybe they can focus on basketball also.
All right. I just want to reiterate what you just said. I think the Suns need some better leadership in the organization. So I think this is a really good move for them. And hopefully they can get all this taken care of without having to lose any of their talent when it comes to players and coaches. So hopefully they can get things figured out because they definitely have some chemistry issues brewing behind the scenes. But I would be interested to hear what you've heard about Sarver?
Yeah, I was scared.
Because I haven't heard too much about what's actually going on with the owner, so I would be interested to hear what you've got on that.
Yeah, pull up article now. Well, just from going off memory, I know there was some allegations going on. Then also, I think I read something the other day where they were saying how Robert Sarver, how he was oh, here you go, allegations of racism and misogyny within the Phoenix Suns. But how he was, no, allegations was against him, but also even the people below him. I guess I'm not saying these the names, but like for example, like the general managers and things like that, or other employees underneath them was also like doing the same thing, and nobody did anything about it, and it just made it a tough, like I guess a toxic work environment within Phoenix Sun organization and stuff.
Does this have anything to do with the Suns mascot by any chance? I did read something about that. About Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom went on someone's podcast. I think it was All the Smoke or something. But he was saying the Suns mascot is racist. So I don't know if that... I don't think that was the intention of it. But I can see how that would be thought. Because, like, there's no gorillas in fucking Phoenix. And... like, what does a gorilla have to do with a sun, you know, in, like, the heat?
Yeah,
so,
no, that's true.
I can see, like, why it would come up in discussion, although I don't think that was, like, ever the intention. I don't know, is that something that you've come across, or was that something...
I haven't seen that article yet.
It was just... though. Lamar Odom brought it up in an interview, so I don't think it ever made it to, like, article or anything. It was just... kind of he said, she said type of deal with Lamar Odom on a podcast.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that. That's pretty,
And Lamar Odom's the type...
pretty interesting.
He was dating the Kardashians. I don't know. He was on drugs. And seems like maybe he's not in the best state of mind. So, I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to do a publicity stunt or something.
Then here's a quote from this little article. Say, the level of misogyny and racism is beyond the pale. And that's coming from one of the Suns' co-owner said about Robert Sarver. Said it's embarrassing as an owner.
Do they have any examples, or is it just like in general?
I mean, in general, I guess.
All right.
He probably, because there's another one down. Where is it?
I think
Sarver did.
That speaks to maybe the Suns having pretty good media people, not letting that actually reach the media, whatever it is. So maybe if they do get new owners, they can just keep everyone else in place and it'll be a smooth transition. Because it sounds like everyone else is doing
they're gonna try to investigate the other employees as well. Because there was an article I had found. They were saying like other people was doing pretty much the same thing he was doing. He was just allowing it to go on.
No.
So they might have to like do a sweep through the top ranks of the organization to see like who can stay, and who will have to go. So they might interview other employees.
This reminds me of the Raiders with Gruden. Gruden's emails got leaked, and then all of a sudden, everyone was getting fired, and the Raiders went from having expectations to be one of the best teams in the league to being one of the worst teams in the league. So,
fucking dumpster fire.
Hopefully, the Suns don't follow the same course.
Yeah, and also, like, I was thinking, like, what if they was doing that just because they didn't want to lose their job? So, you know how you try to kiss up to the boss? So they just mimic everything he was doing just as, like, so that they're the same as he is, just so they can keep their job. I wondered that.
I don't know.
If that's something they was doing also.
I've never been that type of person, so I don't know how that type of people, how those people work.
Yeah, me neither, but, right? But I be sound like that, kiss up to the boss and shit.
Yeah.
And talk shit behind their back when they walk away.
Yeah, no, that's not me. I'm not going to kiss up, I'll just talk shit to your face.
Right.
Or maybe not talk shit, but fucking, if there's a problem, the best person to talk to is you, you know?
I'm not just you.
I don't know, if I got a problem with you, the best person to talk about with you, or the best you get what I'm saying? Like, Doesn't
Yeah,
help the
I can't talk
situation to
about this
bring it up
problem with
behind
somebody
someone.
else.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like that. Don't try to be an asshole or anything, but
Hmm.
problems are problems, and just fix them. Get through it,
I didn't know they fined the owner $10 million. Robert Sarver said he was suspended for 1 year and fined for $10 million.
That's nothing
They hit
for
it.
a owner, though. These people are
Yeah, yeah.
billionaires.
Pocket change. Shit, that was my charity money. Here, take it.
That's probably what they do too. It's like
Hey,
it
he
comes
probably
out
get him the
of
10 million. Yeah, get
comes
him
out
the
of
10 million.
it.
Go to sleep, wake up. He already got another 10 million already coming.
That's how it works too. Passive income, like they don't have to
Yeah,
trade their
yeah.
time for money, so it just keeps coming in, and they have enough money. Like a 1 or 2% dividend on an investment is $10 million a
Hmm.
day. So
I want to know how much he was making from like a Phoenix Suns game. Like how much money he'll be missing out on that since he had to sell it, especially
I
like during
don't
the playoff time.
I don't think it's actually that lucrative of a business. I think it's something that you mainly do. You want to be a fan if you're doing it,
You're right.
because there's a good chance you'll lose some money.
Hmm. Do the owners? Well, some of the owners they own their own stadium, right? Like the teams they own, the arenas they play in. Some of them own their own stadiums, right?
I think they all do, or maybe some of them are state owned that are like rented. I don't know. I
Yeah,
would.
because I know like how some like let's say Pepsi and shit like that. Because I think Denver Arena was used to be called PepsiCo, right? PepsiCo Arena.
Yeah, but that was just a
I always,
sponsorship, so you're just like
uh,
buying the name.
all right, yeah, because I always thought like if the arena was named after like a company, that's who owned it, since it was their own name and shit.
Yeah, no, you're basically
Like,
just like renting the name.
okay, I guess. Then of course they would have the Pepsi products and shit in there.
Yeah, but I was thinking more so like the Los Angeles Chargers. They were battling with the city of San Diego to build a new stadium, and they wouldn't
Hmm.
build a new stadium. So I don't know who actually owns a lot of the stadiums, and I don't know what the rent numbers would be like. I don't even know how to look at a balance sheet like that. I don't know. I don't even know what you'd
Yeah,
call it. Tenant agreement depends on how it's set
right.
up.
The rental agreement.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Hmm.
All I know
No.
is there's a lot of different streams of income, and if you don't have all of them performing well, you're not bringing in a whole lot of money. Like jersey sales play into it, concession sales, parking ticket sales, game ticket
Yeah.
sales. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's so many different variables that go into that. I don't know. Every time I've tried to like dig into it, it's something that seems like a pretty deep rabbit hole, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong and lose you a lot of money pretty fast. So I don't know. That's about all I have on that. Do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. All right, in the next article, we're going to be taking a look at Damian Lillard has become the Trailblazers' all-time leading scorer as he passed Clyde Drexler. So, with that being said, DeMarcus, what do you think?
I was great for Dame Dollar, face of the franchise, real loyal to the organization. He said if there's anything he gonna want to do, he want to win a chip with them. Because questions are always being brought up, even whenever he get close to free agency or like doing trades and stuff. They always asking him because his name always comes up in trades. I believe like last year when LA, it was reports that LA was trying to get him in a trade, and of course they was asking him about it. And he said he rather stay with Portland, try to win a ring with them. And he's also very important to to Portland's like community. He always out there doing things with the young community, trying to help out as best as he can. So to see him just move it to the all time Portland's all-time scoring list or scoring leaders. It's really great to see. He's a fantastic player. One of my favorites, probably in my like top 10, I'd say. And he's clutch. So shout out to Dame Dollar.
Yeah, it's cool to see him become a all-time great for his franchise. So I would disagree that he's one of my favorite players, as I'm a Nuggets fan, and the Portland Trailblazers knocked us out of the playoffs and upset us. I think it was first or second year we actually made it to the playoffs with Jokic and Murray. So I don't know. With him and McCollum got all weird about it, and they thought they were king shit out in the West. And after they beat the Nuggets in the playoffs, I think they missed the playoffs like 5 years in a row. So it's just after that, I wasn't really a very big Damian Lillard fan, as I don't know, I kind of saw him as having an attitude problem. But I do agree. I like what he does off the floor. I like his music. I think he does a lot of good things. It's just his situation with the Nuggets. I think he got a little over his skis and probably got a little bit too hyped up over winning a first round game because, I mean, they didn't make the playoffs like 5 years after. So I don't know. He's not one of my favorite players, but it's cool to see him as a Trailblazers great. As I think it's really the thing that I do like about Damian Lillard is he's not one of those players that's always requesting trades, and he always shows up to work. So I think he's a cool player from that aspect.
Yeah, he put his head down and played.
Yeah.